concerned about the app, the Now app, and they've had some experiences with it that weren't pleasant. And so I'll tell you about it later. But I did write a letter to Gregory and Robin. They asked me to, and so they are also frustrated with it. So anyway, that's all. So I took it to there, and there were some things coming out in the pictures, Connie, that were not nice, and so sort of racy. So anyway, we're helping everybody, and Gregory's working on trying to get them to get a different type of app. So that's what's happening. Thank you, and I'll keep letting people in while you sign in to, or you're already in, I bet. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we got YouTube's rocking and rolling. We get a lot of views on YouTube now,
Good.
building it up, and then we of course post this on Rumble. So I know a lot of you guys, we get thousands of views on these shows, and a lot of people appreciate it. Now, on the positive note, we have this one trip that's coming up to
Mm.
Hawaii. Regional travel incentive. It started 27 October and it ends 23 February. So there's still over a month left for people to qualify. There's been several people on the team that have already qualified. We got Brad, Wozni, Lynn, Scott Hagerman. Roxanne is almost into where she can bring a guest. She's just a little bit away. Frederick and Terry are like exploding upwards. Now, the the positive thing about that is that you're helping people to advance, and from that you get rewarded. And for your teams, you like one way to motivate your teams is like we're helping you advance, share, and you advance and you start making income. And that helps us to go on these trips. And eventually you're going to go on these trips with us as well. So it's kind of like motivational for your team as a whole to watch you go off and, get a very positive event from sharing. And I mean, it's motivational for me when I see Connie and Barry go to like these exotic places that I'm not qualified to go to yet. So I'm motivated to build my business so I can go play with them in even more exotic places that I already get to go to. So there's many things, and I've never been involved with a company that gives you like this type of reward ever, right? And I could say that the United States SEAL teams rewarded me with lots of great trips, but they weren't like exotic, and sometimes they were kind of dangerous. But for the most part, I enjoy these trips more than any other trips that I've done. One, because it's free, and free is always good. But two, because they're not, because it's free doesn't mean it's like low level stuff. It is very, very good quality. So I hope that motivates everyone in the group that would like to have a free trip, all expenses paid trip to exotic locations. And I don't take a lot of vacations. I just wait for LifeWave to send me. So, it works out really well that way. So I work, I get rewarded. I work, I get rewarded. So it's a great way, and I call it work. I'm playing. Everything I do in life now is I'm playing. It's a great experience. Like I said at the beginning of the show, we get to hang out with amazing, wonderful people, and I look forward to having more of you join us on these trips. And I know that's coming. I know that's coming. You might not see it yet, but I see it, and I see that you guys are constantly involved. You're constantly showing up, and eventually that gets rewarded. Right? I didn't become like one of the best shots in the SEAL teams, and all the incredible things that I brought in because I just sat back. I got involved, and you guys are getting involved, and you're building on your consciousness and on your ability to understand this incredible technology and how we're sharing the technology. Now, I can tell you, everyone that's at the top of my that are going on this trip are people that share in social media. So social media, like we talked about, is incredible. Now we talked about this in the mastermind group, and Jen, you shared some stuff in a mastermind group on a recent trip that you went on. Can you share with us a little bit about what they said about social media?
It was incredible. And they have a lot of training for it too. It's the Aspire group under David. Well, David Meltzer's one member of it, but there's two men that put it together. And they brought in one of my faves was this woman who literally was just learning about AI, just like you guys. And she happened to be working at that time for Amazon. um, Nobody else understood AI, so she just kept plugging ahead. And all of a sudden, Jeff Bezos called her and said, "I want you to be in charge of AI for all of Amazon." And she exploded with it, and she's an expert on it now. And so there were so many people like that there. And what they said over and over, everything that Michael and Connie and Barry, everybody's been saying over and over, keep posting, putting yourself out there, make these videos of yourself, which our team has been a riot about. I was telling Michael, Diane, you've been sending us stuff that you got to send them to Michael too. Well, send them to me and I'll pass them up, but you got to put them out there. She said, people keep doing it every day and all of a sudden it explodes. So the other example I had was a woman. Let's see. So we went from Amazon to, oh, okay. Kevin O'Leary. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he's on Shark Tank. And he's in the movie Mr. Wonderful now, which I saw previews of. Um, so there's a woman that kept posting. Nobody knew her. She wasn't making any money, but she said that she could advertise social media. And he saw her ad, like, oh, it was on LinkedIn, folks. It was on LinkedIn over and over. She just every day put something in. She said, I didn't know what I was going to say, but I just kept doing it. Kevin O'Leary calls her and said, would you like to work with me? Boom. And now she is a super world expert. Seriously, she's been working with him and other people for quite a while. And it exploded because she just kept posting, even though she wasn't making money before. I mean, she was like us so don't give up. That was the idea. It is amazing. And they said social media, and they use everything. I hadn't even thought of using LinkedIn, but they do. I mean, every single one of those media you should be using and playing with. Just play with it, have fun with it. And somebody will call you out of the blue, and it could make it very special. Is that
Yeah,
enough?
fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. And in the early stages, you're racking your brain. It's like it doesn't seem to be working. You're trying different things, but you're consistent. And consistency eventually will reward you. All right. So I can tell you that I was in the early stages of this, sharing on Facebook for many, many, many years. I just saw Facebook as like, a tool to meet people and, share information and so forth and pictures. Oh, that's a cool picture. And I got a cool picture too. And then, that's all you're doing in the initial stages of it. But you're building, a following. You talk, you learn how to like say things. You follow other people, you talk to them, and some of their people follow you because they like what you're talking about. And that's how you build it initially. And then I started to think about how I heard that building a business, go on social media and you share. And I was like, well, I've been sharing on social media already for several years. It's going to be very easy. You want to talk, Terry? Not right. So and so so I kind of focused on that, and I was like, okay, Facebook has you can promote, you can buy advertising. And so I spent a lot of money, lots of money on advertising, and it never went anywhere. But what I found that the thing that was most successful and got me more subscribers, and eventually more followers, and then eventually those people turned into customers, was sharing information that was very interesting for people. And I found that my career path was very interesting to people. And then the things that I had learned how to do, like remote viewing and intuition and all that kind of stuff, So people were starting to, gravitate towards that. We're becoming interested. I didn't think that would be a thing for people, but it was. So you never know, what's going to connect. Like Diane, she's like, I struggled, and then I posted something, and then thousands of people watch. It's like, and it's going to click for you at some point. You just continually share, and that's basically the blueprint. You share things that are relevant in your life. You share things that are relevant with LifeWave in a certain way. Uh, Fred and Terry are doing those hilarious little video clips, and they're constantly there's X39 and X39 and X39. Everybody's like laughing, and they see X39. It's like, what is the X39? Like, and then they explore, and they're like, wow, I'd like to use that. So that's the way that works. So you share it, you share it, you share it, you share it, and you share it some more and some more and some more. And then eventually you start to have people that will sign up. So some of you are like, well, I've shared, and nothing happens. Keep sharing. That's the way it works. It may take a while, like it did for me. It took years before I finally got into my groove. And once I went to this one event, so I'm like a guy. I read avidly and have since I was a boy, successful people, and how they got success. And I was like, someday I will do that. And so had that dream, and then and eventually it started to click. All the different things that I've read, all the different shows that I went to, events that I went to, shows that I watched, and so forth. Eventually, it all clicked, and of course, I became part of a team that was knew how to make people successful. Connie Berry and Robin and Gregory and many others. Because I have people that aren't even in our organization come on and do shows, and it helps. It's because they have very incredible like children that have almost died, and they put patches on them and they recovered. It's like crazy, all the stuff that happens, and it motivates people, and they want to get involved in that. Who wouldn't? So you just constantly share. You keep sharing, and then eventually you're going to have success. But thinking that you're going to be, on my level, like overnight, it's not going to happen. So you have to do the work. You have to do the constant, sharing. And I remember Brad. I went to an event where I spoke about, some of the things that I had accomplished. And Brad got motivated. I took pictures with Brad. This was a lot, years and years and years ago, 5, 6 years ago. I don't know how long it was. And so he contacted us. I will say us because I'm very focused on a lot of different things, and people contact me all the time. So he spoke really with Tracy, and Tracy, because he was like, I want to start my own I want to start my own podcasting. And Tracy's like, well, you do this and you do that. And now he's got a very successful podcast, YouTube channel and Rumble channel. And he shares on there, and he's very successful in LifeWave and a lot of other businesses. So it'll come to you, but you have to do the work. And then now we have uh, Lynn Hagerman's doing it. Roxanne's doing it, and several other of you are starting to do it. And you just keep doing it. You watch the success we have. Hopefully, it motivates you to continue, and you just continue, and eventually, you will have the success too. And Tracy, you're ready.
Yeah, get a little chair because it's going to be a minute. 1 second. Which side do I see on? This side?
Yep.
Hi. So I'm always in the background. I love being back here. And part of the resources that I do are I look for things that are of interest. And now that we have these amazing shows, I started looking for other things that were of interest to help us grow. So sometimes if you guys have amazing guests or a suggestion, get with Jennifer or Lynn or Rox, get with me. Then they'll get with me. But I'm going to get you excited for a second because look what I'm going to do to help. So this is good. There's this gentleman. Joshua Hall is a practical AI specialist, visionary entrepreneur, and modern homesteader on a mission to revolutionize how small businesses leverage AI technology without sacrificing their values. Beautiful stuff. Okay, Joshua can discuss using AI without losing yourself, navigating the hidden psychological traps of AI and technology dependency, building decentralized solutions for centralized world, mutual aid networks, and community resiliences, and it goes on. I feel safe exposing this gentleman to you because some of that stuff is scary. So anyway, I just wanted to share with you that this is a tool. Like if you know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody, and so on and so on, and you know how it goes. Anyway, so we have that at our disposal here. So share amongst ourselves the topics that you're interested that can help to bring value to the group. That's all. Gotta go.
And that came from our mastermind group. So you guys are going to be the beneficiaries of the mastermind group. So the AI guy is going to come in and talk about AI on a way high level. So we're fortunate to have him come in, and he could, I don't know, maybe be a common guest. We'll see how you guys like it. And going forward, like Tracy said, if you have the other interest that could help the community, bring them up, and we'll explore it. And maybe start to share that as well. So that's a benefit of having a platform like this, and that we can get together and explore some of these things together as a group, and then go, well, I think this would help if we do this, and then we do that, and it does help, and we all grow together. So that's some of the things that we're looking at. Connie.
Yes.
Connie, guys, you wanted to come in and answer some questions that people might have, or do you
Yeah,
have
and I
anything
think
you want?
I'm probably on some of the comp plan too. I'm going to have Barry go over some of the questions because as he tells me, we start going into things and he starts going through it, and then I start going and this and this and this and this, and he's like, you know too much. Like, let's simplify this. So yeah, so why don't we get some of the questions that I heard you guys had, and we'll see what the two of us can do to help.
Awesome, very good. And on other notes, we have there's a big outbreak right now of people that are sick, and we know that the COVID thing that came in was part of a bigger program to cause problems. It has caused a lot of problems for a lot of people. A lot of people aren't with us anymore because of that program, and we want to stay healthy. And that's one of the things. It's a negative, but it's also a positive for us because we can give options for people with the glutathione and with the X39, which is, I had David on several years ago that talked about how X39 had helped a lot of people that had been vaccinated and then were having problems and probably weren't going to survive. So, will that help everybody? No, we can't make that claim, obviously, but it can and has had an impact. And there's probably, well, there isn't probably. We've actually seen through dark field microscopy that it actually is having an effect because the blood basically shows it. So that's one of the positive things that are happening. But what are some of your questions? What are some of your questions on how this technology can help us, and how you you being very healthy on a good level, when your light reflects out and hits that patch, and it patch reflects back what light you're reflecting out. If your light is dim from problem areas, it might take a little while. So there's lots of different ways. Of course, diet, nutrition, and exercise and so forth can help. But if you're at a point where you can't even get out of bed, you need something, and that's what the patch can help. At least get you to the point where you can get out of bed and start to, move on and help yourself and brighten your light so that when your light comes out and hits that patch, it reflects back even stronger. So these are some of the things we need to understand going forward. So, I couldn't talk like that, years ago. But now I understand technology. I can talk that, and maybe that inspires some people. It inspires me. I would hope it inspires some people. But some people have never heard of the technology. You talk something like that to them, wow, it's like, where do I sign up? You just got to have the different things that are going to help you going forward. And it might be that, or it might be something that Roxanne's going to talk about right now.
Okay. You guys say share the light. Well, we are the light. So, anyways, my question is really to Connie, and somebody was asking me yesterday. They had a newer brand partner under them, and that brand partner had somebody who is wanting to sign up as a customer, a preferred customer. But the question to me from one of the brand partners under me, she said, should I sign this customer under me or under my brand partner? And I said, well, it's your brand partner's contact, so you need to help her sign that customer under her. So she gets, so because that way it'll help grow the team. And then she was questioning me about the commissions. And correct me if I'm wrong, I told her that her brand partner would get the commission from the preferred customer. And then she would receive the volume. So like it rolls up. Now, is that the correct way to explain
yeah.
this?
Yeah, it's absolutely
Perfect.
accurate. It
Okay.
is. And I think the way that I would talk about it is to be in integrity. You're talking about integrity, right? When you're
Yeah.
talking with her.
Mhm.
And this is her, even if she was the one who helped her and talked to her and got her to the point of enrollment. That's what we do, right? That's
Right.
how we help people.
Mhm.
So you would never take your people's people like that. You are 100% right. That is her friend who she is trusting the team to talk to. So she has to trust the team that they're going to enroll her
Mhm.
under her friend. That's how this works, right? We want to help that friend earn income to pay for patches, because if somebody can earn enough money to pay for their patches and more, they're going to stay on the patches, they're going to get their health results, and they're never leaving, right? If they can make that kind of enough money to, let's say, just even pay for their X39 every month, right? It becomes, kind of a net zero. So Barry and I were talking, you guys have heard us talk about that with the comp plan now, there's a little bit of a shift. And so if you always are thinking what is in the best interest of one, the person you're enrolling, and two, the person who is the brand partner, that's, it may not be financially in your best interest, but it is in their best interest. And that'll always come around.
But financially, in the long run, it is in your
Yes.
best interest
Yeah.
because those people, instead of not making any money and dropping off, will make some money and more than likely stay in.
Good point. Such a good point. And so like if they're coming in as a customer, preferred customer on just X39, you want to
No,
talk
go
about
ahead. Keep
that?
going. You're doing
You
good.
sure?
You're speaking clear.
Stop me when I stop making sense. If you're bringing in a customer, I'm the person who is the sponsor of a customer. When they order X39, every time they order X39, I will make a $20 retail if they are a preferred customer. Okay, I will make $20 every time they do that X39. The volume, the BV, will go up to everybody up, and that will be reduced. It won't be 77 like a brand partner, it'll be 43. So it's a reduced BV to all of us upline because there's got to be money to pay out that $20, right?
Mhm.
Now let's say she was thinking, well, if I bring her as a brand partner, I make 77 BV instead, and I get the product introductory bonus from a pack. Well, or the upgrades. Well, that's one time, right? That's one time product introductory bonus. The next time a brand partner orders, the next month when it's just their regular auto ship, you're only going to make the unilevel pay on the 77 BV at the percentage that your rank is. So for a new person, That's not much money, right? If you don't have a leg and you're not at least a 3-star manager or above, you aren't making any binary pay. Does that kind of make sense? So what's going to happen is all of a sudden they came in, they brought their person in, they made some money on the product introductory bonus of the pack, but now they're not making hardly anything and now they're getting discouraged, right?
Mhm.
So if we keep them as a customer and because they only want to be a customer, they only want to use product, yeah, it's going to be in the best interest for the sponsor and the person who's coming in. Now, if that person is like, you're talking to them, and it comes from asking questions, right? So the questions are, is this just for your own personal use only? Well, yes. Okay, that you're a customer. Or are you the type of person that when it, that's going to want to share this, you can't help but talk about it. If they're like, yeah, I'm like that, but they say, but I want to try it for a while, bring them in as a customer. When they're ready to share, move them up to brand partner. And now you start working with them to help go get their customers, their brand
And they're
partners.
prepared for the business launch bonus and that you have time to do that instead of jumping right in. So you have time to go over that with them while they're already getting their product.
Yep. And if they're the type of person that cannot keep something to themselves, i.e. Michael, who got excited and started talking about it, and we're like, whoa, 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 somebody stop them till we get this all settled up. If you're the type of person that's going to go out and share it, they're that kind of person that they can't help but share. I mean, I was that way. As soon as I get excited about something, everybody's going to know. It might make sense to bring them in right away as a brand partner because now they're ready. Now, when they want to share, which they will do right away, they're ready to go. Or if they're coming in for the opportunity because they need to earn some income, they go to brand partner right away. Does that kind of help how we would do that?
I think so.
Anybody else? Anybody
I
that
hope I
that
hope the
wasn't there?
person that asked me that question listens to this.
Yeah, and then you look at the actual compensation plan, and
Mhm.
like I have a lot of people that buy retail, and so you're going to get, as you see here, you're going to get a certain amount. Now, ideally, I would rather have people, become a preferred customer or even better, a brand partner, because a brand partner is going to bring in a lot of business volume compared to some of these other people. Of course, I get a lot of income from this, but ultimately the brand partners and the preferred customers are going to bring in the qualifying BD and so forth that will advance me to higher levels where I earn different levels of income. So you're going to have a lot of different ways. Now, 750 uh, business volume or qualifying volume is going to get you, you're going to start to earn. You become a 1-star manager. So you want to get people to that point. Now, what does it take to get there? If you have 6 people that are buying X39, X49 bundle, they're going to get 750 and a little bit more. But they could have it from they could have 5 there, they could have a couple over here in PC, and they could have like we've talked about before, a retail. So there's different ways that you're going to get to those points, and then you grow. You get more retail customers. Eventually, those retail customers are like, well, I'd like to start to save a little money, and they become preferred customers, and they get extra patches, and they're like, well, I want to start sharing this with others, and I want to make start making income. So they move into brand partner. So it can happen on a lot of different levels. So ideally, you let them come in where they want to come in, and that's been very very beneficial for us to do that. There's times there was time in the past where it was more beneficial in the old compensation plan where because you didn't get much retail, if anything. I don't know, and then you wanted to focus on brand partners. So we did that, and we built a nice business, and a lot of you now are part of our team that have moved up and are doing really well in your own regard. But we want to bring in more people, and this is the way we do it. Now, I don't know if you guys caught it, but when we do a live show for Miracle Monday, and Connie's the same way on her Sunday Doc Talk Sunday. Lots of people show up because it's a it's an interest. It's an interest to a lot of people to see the miracles that are happening in LifeWave, and that attracts them into becoming retail, PC Plus, or brand partners. All right. So, but in this show, what we're doing is we're teaching people how to build their business. Obviously, there's a lot less people that watch. It's like a quarter to one fifth. But you would think that there would be even more people that would be interested in building businesses, but that's not the way human consciousness works. So you have to learn how to work within that human consciousness field. And like I talked about in the beginning, the social media is you're creating an interest in whatever it is you're doing, whatever it is you're creating, whatever it is, that people will be drawn to you for, and then you build upon that. It takes time, but it is something that over time you can build very successful, businesses that will take you from. I know Fred and Terry are doing really well. Uh, we'll have maybe Fred come in and talk a little bit about his success in building the business, and how he's looking forward to, I don't know, maybe someday leaving what he's doing now and totally focus on LifeWave. And there's a lot of you out there that are like that, but that's not everybody. Some people just want to use the product. Some people were like, well, I'll share it with a few people. And then some people are like, I'll share it with a little, so I can get my free patches, and I'll share it, and maybe I'll get a free vacation, and so on and on and on. You work with people, like Connie says, at their level, and you continue to work with people at their level until they're either move forward, or maybe in some sad cases they decide not to go forward, which is uh, incomprehensible to me. But some people are like that. It's human nature, to do the things that we do. Lynn.
So I had three things that were on my mind. The first is, Tracy Joe, I am super excited about this AI show that we're going to have. I'm so grateful for that. So thank you. Second thing, earlier we were talking about everyone being sick, and I just want to share a couple of things about that. I'm having people, so I have brand partners all over the world, and coast to coast, north, south, east, and west in the United States, and a lot of people are really sick. And what I'm hearing, these symptoms are not our normal sickness symptoms. I mean, we've got people's hair falling out all over the place. And so something's in the air. And I've been talking to some frontline doctors, and that's the talk now. There's things in the air with the chemtrails or maybe sprays. And I don't want people to be afraid about this, because we do have, so these are the recommendations that help. If you're feeling good, anytime you go outside, put the glutathione on your chest. I consider it like a shield, and keep your energy patches on your lung point one, and that'll keep everything flowing. And then you'll have a lot of protection there. And if you are sick, wear those same patches. Plus you can put the eons on your sinuses. But that's going to help people through this, because I don't think we need to be afraid, but we do need to be aware that something else is up, because these symptoms are just not normal. So that's my second share. My third share is, I have a lot of people coming to me who want to earn income. And this is very important now. My day gig, I'm an international human resource consultant. So this is what I do too. And we need our income to pay our bills. And a lot of people are hurting now. And we have an opportunity to help people, and we help them with their health, yes. But if people are hurting financially, that can override even their health, because they're so concerned about just paying their rent or their mortgage or putting food on the table. So we have a great opportunity for people. And I know there's a lot of people listening may be curious about this. Most people start out slow because they've already got a job, and that's recommended. I recommend that. And then we can help people slowly learn how to earn and support them and help them. We have great training that's available. And then they can part-time, if they want to go full-time. That's where I've netted out, able to do this full-time. And so it's a great opportunity. And it's not just the income, it's the lifestyle. Like this morning, I was sitting there, I was able to wear my pajamas until like 10 a.m. while doing business, and there was a bad snowstorm, and I got to look out my kitchen window doing dishes while everybody else was at their jobs worrying if they could drive home. I mean, you can work from home, you can take care of the kids, you can do your things. The opportunities are endless. So I want to really encourage everyone who's listening to reach out and let us help with this financial aspect, because it's an amazing opportunity, and to be able to help people like we are and then earn income from doing it. There's nothing like it.
Fantastic points, Lynn. And Connie, I know you guys are an expert at this because you convinced me, and I'm very hard-headed to get involved. So how do you approach people as far as, like, motivating them? Like Lynn was just talking about, those are all motivational points, but
I was
how are
sold
you
on I
guys?
could wear pajamas all day. That sold me. Get that corporate tie off of me.
And I kind of
Um,
like that too. But how do you guys motivate people? Where do you find their desires and wants and so forth?
want to go?
Yeah, mine's easy, Michael. I usually talk about the opportunity and not so much the money, but the opportunity. And Lynn hit a lot of bullet points to that.
Yeah.
It's the flexibility, the freedom, but there's also, I talk about the trips a lot too, and people are just amazed. I mean, you know this, and everybody, the places we've been with you and Tracy, places we haven't gone that you guys didn't go or we couldn't make the trip to. But literally, it's taken us all over the world, and they love hearing those stories. And it's another way to pique interest with people without really trying to pitch them on anything and just explaining what's going on in your life.
Yeah, I think there's a couple things. In fact, I'd love to bring up real quick, just as a reminder, so I don't forget. How many of you are already registered for Super Saturday, either in person or virtually? Okay. If you guys are not, this is an incredible, I mean, do not miss this training the company is putting on. If you're in the Orlando area, then by good, get there in person. Barry and I'll be there. It'll be a blast. Get there if you can. If not, go in and register. There's a virtual option. This is a day of training. My understanding is that they're going to do some training on the comp plan, but they're going to and also their field is going to train on how do you do the business? What are the step-by-step things that we talk about all the time? Building your list, inviting, enrolling, follow up. How do you keep them? Retention. This is all going to be taught by your field leaders. So I'll be training on inviting, and part of what you're going to learn on inviting is just what we're talking about. How do you ask the good questions? Some of the questions, it might be, maybe you've always dreamed of working with someone. You just always thought, gosh, we'd be great together if we were working together. Are you open-minded to exploring how we might work together? That's a leading question to find out, are they open to that? Are you open to get a try? So I'm going to give some scripts. You're going to hear some things on that. This on the Saturday the 24th when we do that training. Now, if you're in the Tampa area as well, one of our brand partners down there, Teresa, will be, and it's close to Barbara Lippincott in the Palm Harbor area. If you're within driving distance to that, we will be having an open house. That's not meant to be a presentation. It's meant to, hey, we'd really love to see your faces. We'd love to give you guys a hug, see your faces. You can ask questions, you can talk to people, but the team will just be together. And so, I want to make sure that you get with Jen and find out, get the directions and the times that we're doing that. If you'd like to come and meet us in Tampa, or if you're going in person into Orlando, please, 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 let us know you're there. We don't want to miss anyone. Why we're there. So the thing we always go back to is asking the questions. The more you find out about them and their needs and their wants and their dreams, the more you have that conversation with them about how this could be the way. And we just have gotten, we know people need money and they need to make it quick. And if they're not big, they're not let's say network marketing professionals. They don't have a big circle of influence of people that can afford bigger packs and people that are super entrepreneurial and are going to automatically right away want to come in. Get a combination of customers and brand partners. It's a very balanced business. All of us that have that have very balanced business. So we just met with a young couple under one of our brand partners last night, and they're young. They're 37 and 39. And they've got several businesses. They are looking at the opportunity, but she is really, really focused on helping her family, her friends, changing the world. Like, so they've got that nice combination. But we're going to sign them up straight as brand partners, but we're not rushing it. We're laying out a plan. They're going to be brand partners. Okay, who can we get as customers first? The easy ones. Your mom, your dad, your sister, because she's laying on there. She's going, my mom will use it, my dad will use it, my sister will use it, my friend will use it. Great. They're probably not your builders. They're your customers. So if we help her bring them in as customers, she's going to start making some money quick, and she's going to make money every month when they order, as we set an expectation that this isn't a try it for 1 month. This is, you're getting on this and you're using this, right? 6 months, 9 months, a year. We're setting that expectation. So now she's got what Barry calls the base salary going,
Yeah.
right?
We talked to Lynn about this, trying to look at it as, your customers, that base, like Michael had a strong base of money coming in, of customers coming in. Then they can self-select if they want to be brand partners, or you bring brand, and the people that do want to. For instance, that couple we talked to last night, he was all about the business. He's an entrepreneur, and he's like, and he hadn't had an experience with the patch yet, but he said, I'll use your guys's. I've seen what it's done for you. I've heard what it's done. We're coming on Sunday night to listen to what it's done to people. But he goes, I'm all about doing this as a business. We need another source of income. And so it's really rewarding knowing that they can start building the business, earning an income, and select and let people select the brand partners that do want to come in.
Yeah, you guys have self-selected, right? Out of all the people that have started coming in, you have self-selected and you have raised your hand with Jennifer and Michael and Barbara and said, you know what? I see this. I see what you see. And so that's why we spend our time coming down to work with people, support you guys. How can we do this in the way that makes sense to train you up? But part of becoming good at this is just what Michael said. It took him a long time to get good at social media. It took him time to grow his skills. Well, there are skills associated with relationship marketing. And that's why I encouraged you all to be on that Super Saturday. Go into Health is Wealth, to the step-by-step trainings. Those are your skills. And the better you get at asking questions, the better you get at each of those skills, the more you practice it consistently every day. So Michael talked about, he did a live video every day. He did a post every day. He had certain things he did every day, over and over and over and over and over again. If you truly want to make something out of this beyond just paying for your patches, you have to make a decision of how many people you're going to talk to, and you have to do it consistently every day and follow the procedure. And there is no doubt about it, point blank, whoever talks to the most people wins. Michael's talked to the most people. Why? He has a bigger following. He talks one to many. As you guys are starting to develop a social media presence of one to many, you start to have more influence. You're talking to more people. You're putting it out to more people. And if you're not in that space, then you need to be talking to people where you are: grocery store, gym, school, old friends, restaurants. Jennifer is queen of talking to more people. You cannot go out with her and she's not patching somebody, talking to somebody, whatever. So Roxanne, I've seen the same thing of you. Whoever talks to the most people wins.
Yeah. Beautiful. Wow, that was in depth, and I love that. Very, very, very nice. Very well done. Tina.
Great information. As a baby business builder, I've been signing up a few brand partners, and I think my why is I've dealt with so much medical stuff and caring for mom that a lot of people are suffering with things, and they have no idea that there's help out there. So that seems to be working for me right now. So my question is, Connie, I've been going through the health as well .biz, but being on 40, I call it 48/7. It's hard for me to sit down and I said, I'm going to commit now to going through the beginning and try to pick up as much as I can. So I'm not asking questions that might be silly to others because they're further along than I am. But when I get to obviously I'm getting, paid to enroll people, but the enrollment kit selection, when I started, Kristen had brought me in as a bronze. And then that's when they were changing everything. And I decided that I'm going to just buy the patches and go to the premium level, which I did. So is there a benefit, or what is the benefit as far as compensation? I don't know if it is somewhere in print, and maybe I'm just not there yet, but is there a benefit to going up to the different kits as far as revenue,
Yes.
making money?
Not as far as what you're going to earn other than the product introductory bonus. So if you look on healthiswealth.biz, there's a couple places that this lives. The first place is if you're in your step-by-step trainings. Video 2 talks about enrollment. It's 7 minutes. It talks a little bit about what I just talked about. And then there are guidelines underneath. And one of them at the bottom says Power of Premium. So it's kind of the benefits of the premium pack. The premium pack has a product introductory bonus of $405 for the person who is the sponsor. That's a one time, right? And that person's active for 3 months. So there's a bit of volume that comes in initially, and then a drop of 110 volume month 2 and month 3. So that pack can be good, particularly when somebody wants a lot of product. Or if somebody's just like, you know what, I want the best price, bar none. So each pack has the bigger the pack, the better the price. And again, like you said, you can move from pack to pack, or you can jump from the smallest to the largest, or go largest right off the bat, like quite a few of us did. But when it comes to how you get paid, unilevel, binary, anything like that, it is actually against FTC regulations to give a perk for buying a bigger pack. That would be called pay for play. And it's against the FTC. So there is no, like, you don't get paid more because you came in on a premium kit, as far as your earnings, than you do if you came in with a core kit or a $25 and a sleeve of X39. The pay's the same. Was that what you're asking?
Yes, no, that's good.
Okay.
And I'll go into that section. I probably haven't hit that yet, but I was just curious as my mind
It's a
was
great
wondering.
question. It's a great question, because it used to be, have you been in the relationship marketing before this?
I worked for the phone company.
Oh, you work for the cone. Okay. Well, you sound like you might have a little bit of knowledge previous, because that used to be something that a lot of companies did. In fact, we had that in an old pay plan many years ago, where if you bought a certain kit, it upranked you to a higher level of pay. But that's completely against FTC policies. And we cut that out several years back because of that reason. So that's why, I thought you might have experience.
Well, that's good. Thank you.
You're
I'm gonna
welcome.
keep studying.
You sound like you might have a little bit of
Excellent. So you're looking for, how to get more information. We have Roxanne, which does she's now posted on our show every week. So she does. Is there feedback coming in?
Yeah, you're getting it's like a delay on what we were just saying. I hear that feedback on a delay. Somebody's got on maybe, are you streaming?
I think
Might be
that was
Jennifer's
Jennifer.
stream.
Oh, okay.
All right. So good. So let me share the screen. I'll show you. Roxanne was sharing that with I don't know. Roxanne, how many people? Like 20, 30 people maybe at the most?
Maybe.
Yeah. So look how many people.
I do air it live on my YouTube channel and record it, and then I send it to you.
Right.
The other day I recorded and I did send it to you. So
yeah. So I mean, you're getting some good views, and you've done this for a while, so you know how to do it, and you're doing a
Mhm.
really good job with it. So that's why I
Thank
wanted
you.
to have you, uh, post it so that everybody can take advantage of that. And you see here, like on the Rumble channel, I've had the Rumble channel for years, and people have been exposed to LifeWave for years, so they're uh, very open to LifeWave. They understand it, they've seen it, they've come into the shows for a long time. So you'll get, 10, almost 11,000 views like we see here. Uh, in YouTube, you see there's 1.8. But YouTube is because I got this channel back, after it had been gone for many, many years. And now YouTube is being exposed to it. Now, YouTube has a bigger reach worldwide, more so than Rumble. So this will grow over time in YouTube to be a phenomenal hit as far as like the LifeWave reveals. But for you guys, you can come in and whichever one you want to come into, as you can see here, Roxanne is just going through all the stuff, and she's teaching. So if you're wanting, and this could be a great site that you could bring in some of your people that are interested as well, so they could see this and they're like, oh, this is great information, this is great stuff. So this is one of the things that you want to look at, like look at that beautiful flower. You're not going to see that anywhere. I'm kidding. So that's some of the things that you guys have available that we do, and we're constantly expanding. Some of you maybe will have an incredible gift, like I'm seeing some of you guys do great stuff with the AI. Maybe some of you will get to the point where, like, how you could share that with people. You could teach others how to do that. That would be very valuable. So I know some of you have been doing it for a little bit. I don't think you're quite at the point where you're ready to share. Maybe I'm incorrect, but think about that. Long term, because that's the way a leadership is. And that's the way I learned in SEAL teams. I would go to schools, I would find out great information, I bring it back, I share it with the community, and we'd all get great. We'd be better at whatever skill it was. It's the same thing with what you guys are doing in our community. You could, learn some really good skill that could benefit everybody. So, like Roxanne's doing, she's done something over time which is beneficial for the whole group. And so now we're sharing that. So some of you could, like I said, become experts at the AI, and start to share that in the community. Some people are like, I got mine. I hope you guys aren't like that, but that's ultimately where we want to get everybody. You want to have that mindset where, as a leader, you're learning something and you're sharing it, like you're doing with the patches, and then there's something that's helping you to communicate or share on a wider basis, and then you come in and you share that skill with everybody else, and eventually it helps and you may share it. It's like, well, I've reached a pinnacle. I'm really good at this, so I'm going to share it. And then somebody comes in that's like an AI expert, and it's like, oh, you could take this another level. And because you share it in the group, then you have the next level, right? That's the way this works. Jen.
Okay, I've got talking in the background. I do apologize, but I want to give a shout out to Janet DeMello and Georgie Girl. They've been complimenting Connie and Lynn on Facebook, and they're loving the
YouTube,
facts
yeah.
that are coming out here. YouTube. Oh, that's right. Well, we're talking about people. So the reason I raised my hand was because Fred had a very important question today. I noticed you just put your hand up, Fred. I told him I was going to call him out because it was about, he's got people that are dropping out that are brands. And then if they sign up again, does he get the bonus of that? Anyway, Fred, you ask your question. I'll put my hand down and I'll be quiet.
Okay. I had talked to you about so many things I couldn't remember which one I was going to ask. But so in the past, there wasn't a $25 renewal fee for the LifeWave account. So people just kept going and going and going and going. But now, with the $25 renewal fee, sometimes they forget to renew, sometimes they don't want to renew. So sometimes they want it to drop off so they could come back in and go up the ladder again with the discounts.
Okay. Okay. I haven't thought about it that way, but yeah, I see what you're saying. So the way that the rules work is if somebody is recategorized, right? They were a brand partner, they didn't pay their $25, they're recategorized. Now, if they have a downline, that's a problem because they'll lose their downline. But if they have no downline, they've really just been purchasing as a wholesale customer. If they come back in under you as their sponsor, right? You were their sponsor, they got reclassified, and now they're coming back in under you. They can be immediately re-enrolled as a brand partner or a customer, either way, okay? Actually, they're already a customer because they would, unless they got fully terminated, haven't ordered in over a year. If they want to change lines of sponsorship, they do technically needs to sit out for 6 months to change lines of sponsorship. That is my understanding. The other thing is to look at your reports. So there's a way to kind of look and manage. On the home page of your back office, you see the renewals, right? Do me a favor, all of you, when you go to look at that, after we're done here, go back and look at that home page and pull and look at it how it says it has 1 level, 3 levels, an entire roller tree. Open your entire roller tree. Trust me, I've been through mine, and there isn't a person on here who has more than we do, right? And so I know even Michael is just half our business. So it's not that hard because it's not that many people up for renewal each month, right? So you go through and you click entire enroller tree, and then you're going to see 3 little check marks. The first one that I look at is reclassified to preferred customer. Okay, so I put a check mark in that box and I leave the other 2 unchecked. What is going to populate is everybody who is on monthly auto ship as a brand partner. And if they don't pay their $25, they will just be reclassified to a preferred customer. Okay, so then you have 2 choices. You can look at those people and go back and say, hey, you're getting ready to be reclassified. This, if they have a downline, definitely help them make sure they know to do their $25. If they don't have a downline and they've really been functioning as a customer, here is an opportunity for you to tell them, hey, or just let them go to preferred customer because now they aren't building a downline. You're not getting any significant revenue from them. If they don't have any intentions of doing a downline, you're going to make more money as the sponsor with them being a customer. Okay, so it's an opportunity to let them be reclassified. Or I've called mine up and said, hey, you're getting ready to be reclassified. You can pay the $25 if you think you're going to share this, if you want to be able to order without having to have an auto ship on wholesale pricing, or take advantage of the maintenance kits, or take advantage of upgrading kits if they haven't already. Then, you want to stay a brand partner. But if you don't, just don't pay your $25 and you're going to automatically become a preferred customer. And a lot of mine have chosen to do that, right? That's great. It moves them over into that categorization. And if they ever change their mind and decide they want to share, now I can bring them in new as a brand partner. To your point, Fred, I can place them wherever I want to place them, right? I don't have to be where they were before. And they can start earning those business launch bonuses, and we can start earning the half matches on them, right? So sometimes that makes sense. The
Right.
next one I do, the next one I do is I uncheck that box and I go to the ones that it says they're going to be reclassified as a retail customer. What that means is they are not on auto ship. And so if they don't pay their $25 because they're not on auto ship, they will become a retail customer. What I do then is I look at the status box. If it's an X, there's X's there. They probably haven't ordered in very often. They're not ordering now. Sometimes I'll find someone that has a triangle or a check mark. That means they're ordering, but they're not on auto ship. So that's someone I want to reach out to and say, hey, I know you're ordering every month. Do you want to pay your $25 because you want to order when you want to order at wholesale? You don't want to have a monthly auto ship. You need to pay the $25. And if they're like, well, what if I don't pay the $25? Well, we need to get an auto ship in place. Otherwise, you can change it, you can adjust it, you can push it out, but it must be in place for you to get wholesale pricing. So these are people that are active now. We want to catch them when they're, because we don't want to lose them, and we don't want them paying $150 when they're used to paying $99, right? So that's the next box I look. And the final box I look at is those where it says they will be terminated. Okay. The people with that, if you uncheck the others and you check that, these are people who haven't ordered in over a year. They're not engaged. They're probably going to just drop off, and it's just as well they drop off. They're really not ordering, have no interest in ordering, right? But occasionally I'll look at that and I'll see something. And last time I looked, I saw a brand partner's daughter's account. Daughter is in school, in college, and maybe will build a business. They want that position still. So that's when I can reach out and say, hey, you need to get so in your daughter's account, you need to pay the $25 or she's going to lose her position. So does that kind of help you guys to understand when you would take your time to reach out, when you might let them just revert to a preferred customer, and when you might just ignore it? And it's, because you can hit the contact box, where their little contact card is. You can click any of those contact cards and their profile will open up, and it'll show you where when they last ordered. If they were the type of people who came in, they bought one thing over a year ago and they never ordered again, probably not worth your time to make a phone call. Right? Probably that's somebody you're just going to let go, and you're going to spend your time and energy bringing in people who are ready, are willing, are excited. So it allows you to figure out where to spend your time, but to save the people that, need to hear from you.
Very good.
That understandable? Maybe, maybe not. Barry's
I
like, no,
got it,
that's
so
too
I'm
much,
sure
man.
everybody else did. But if not, then this will be posted. Kristen.
What is the advantage of the customer or brand partner moving up to different packs?
Savings. Period.
Okay.
I mean, you're getting savings.
Okay.
You're not going to get those savings on any other level. So that's the advantage of those, and that's one thing you can share with your customers. If you can, share that and show that. Barry's talked about that on several occasions. One bartender that he showed him how much he was going to save, and he was like, "Oh, duh." And so if you can show people the savings they're going to get, then they'll move up. But
Okay.
otherwise people just don't know unless you share with them. They come in at whatever level they come in. Maybe they're looking at it. Like I try and share with people all the time that you can come in this level, but you want to eventually, move up. And I do that all the time. So it does help. And, our team, we do that. We kind of present that as much as we can. During the time frames where if you're in, the hunt for a trip, those are where you're really going to get a lot of points. Helping people move up, it's almost every trip it gives you some really good points. So that can be one of your techniques that you're constantly monitoring. That you're seeing where people are at. If they're ordering more patches, you can go in and say, hey, you can save this much money by upgrading, and most people are going to do that. So that's the technique. So it's a
Okay.
savings. Now, if they come in, obviously at the very top, they're not going to be able to do any more. But anywhere below that, you should, hit those people up, or at least watch their movements. Like I said, if they're buying a lot of patches, they're going to save. So that's one of the things you can kind of monitor to help you're helping your people, and you're helping yourself, because every time you advance people up the ladder, regardless of how that is, whether it's saving on patches by going to premium or whatever, or you're helping them get more people involved in their business, it benefits you along with them. So that's the beauty of LifeWave. There's many different ways you can help people, and ultimately helping people is the way you become more successful. Just keep that in mind. Helping
Okay.
people is the way I become more successful. The more people I help, the more successful I become.
Mm.
So that's from J. Paul Getty. Right? I learned that very early on, as I think I was a teenager when I read that. It's just one of those things that stuck with me. So I've always been on the hunt for the ultimate business opportunity, and here I am. So it's great. All right,
Okay,
guys. Hope that, yeah, great. I hope that answered your question. So guys, I got another show I got to jump on. So it's been great. I love, this was one of the better shows that we've done. I love the interaction. Thanks, Connie and Barry, for coming in and sharing your deep wisdom. And we look forward to doing this again. So lots of love to you guys, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Good night,
everybody.
everybody.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Michael. Thank you,
Michael.
Connie and
Thank you,
Barry.
Tracy.
Yeah, thanks, Connie. That was
Thanks, Connie
great.
and Barry.